Did you know that California has mountains that rise 4,000 to 5,000 feet straight out of the Pacific Ocean, creating a landscape unlike anywhere else in the contiguous United States? These are the Santa Lucia Mountains, and this is day 5 of Mountain Month, the series where I talk about your favorite mountains every single day of October. So be sure to comment below what you'd like to see tomorrow. The Santa Lucia Mountains, also called the Santa Lucia Range, run for about 140 miles along the central California coast, from Carmel in the northwest to San Luis Obispo in the southeast. The Santa Lucias are part of the larger Pacific Coast Range system, which is a series of mountain ranges that run along the Pacific coast of North America, all the way from Alaska in the north to central Mexico in the south, including, of course, the roughly 1,300-mile-long west coast of the contiguous United States. But nowhere else along that 1,300-mile stretch do the mountains rise more sharply out of the ocean than they do in the Santa Lucias. Over the course of the entire 140-mile-long range, the crest of the Santa Lucias is never farther than 11 miles from the Pacific coast, but it's often much closer. But while the entire mountain range is incredibly steep, one mountain in particular represents the steepest gradient from sea to summit in the entire lower 48. Stone Peak, shown here, rises to an elevation of 5,155 feet, less than 3 miles from the Pacific coast. Now, if you're watching this video wondering, how have I never heard of these mountains before? Well, you probably have, you just probably don't know them as the Santa Lucia Mountains. Instead, you probably know them by their most famous region, Big Sur. Big Sur is the most famous, most rugged, and probably most beautiful part of the entire Santa Lucia Range. This roughly 90-mile stretch of the range between Carmel Highlands and San Simeon, where the mountains literally rise straight from the sea, is widely considered to be one of the most beautiful coastlines in the entire world. If you've ever driven this stretch of California State Highway 1 or the Pacific Coast Highway, which literally clings to the slopes of the Santa Lucia Range, then you almost certainly agree. Adding to the beauty of the region is the fact that many of the lower slopes of the Santa Lucias are covered by forests of coastal redwoods. But while the redwoods are undoubtedly some of the most impressive and beautiful trees on Earth, they're somehow not the coolest tree in the area. That honor probably goes to the Santa Lucia fir, which is not only considered to be the rarest fir tree in the United States, but is probably also the rarest fir on Earth. In fact, the only place in the world that it's found is on the steep slopes of the Santa Lucia Range in the Big Sur region. Now, despite being so beautiful, the